For folks who are savoring, and of course, this being 2021, recording the moment after the 2-0 Suns lead and a Game 2 win. And you see where they took control at the end of the first quarter, plus 20 between 4:40 the first quarter till halftime, knocked down 7 of their 16 three-point attempts. They hit 20 tonight on 40 shots. Let's go to Monty Williams.
Coach, you forecasted that Milwaukee would bring the effort tonight, but you said your guys were ready for that. How'd you like how you guys responded to Milwaukee's charges throughout the night?
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter was a storm of aggression from them, attacking the paint, offensive rebounding, and we talked about it all morning. We studied Game 2 versus Atlanta, and that was their way to attack Atlanta in that Game 2 after a loss, was to just get to the paint. And so we knew that was coming, and they're a good team. It's not like, this is the finals and they're giving a finals effort. But I like the fact that our guys just stayed the course and showed poise, and we were down 3. And then in the second quarter, which I felt like won the game for us, our defense was at a high level. We held those guys to 16 points. And so that ended up being the difference. Obviously you have to do more in the second half, but the second quarter defense was tremendous.
Quick follow, there was a possession. You guys came out of the timeout up 6, and Mikal chased down a loose ball.
Yeah.
Then Aiden got an offensive rebound,
Yeah.
kicked it to Paul for 3. How huge was that possession right
We
there?
had a few signature offensive rebounds. That play by Mikal, DA had one to kick out for a 3. Those are the kinds of relentless plays that we've been talking about all year. We have a we score mentality, and when DA and Mikal give it up like that and other guys score, it's like they scored. That's how we view it. But in that moment when they cut it, to 6, 7, we kept answering with a big 3. And you have to make plays like that to win games in the finals.
Dave up front.
Monty, you mentioned those threes that you had to answer it. There were 3 of them from Devin himself in the fourth, 6 to make it to 9. They cut it down to 7. He hits back-to-back to get it up to 13. And then as a team, you go 20 for 40 from deep. What about Devin makes him built for those moments? And then you speak to, as a team, how well you shot it.
I mean, the guys work on it. We have a let-it-fly mentality. Our guys shoot a ton of shots every day, as everybody does in the NBA. But those are the moments that he lives for. He doesn't run from it. I've seen it from him for 2 years. He just steps up and makes big plays. In that moment, I think one of them, he set a great screen. They had to help. He popped out. He knocked it down. And, the thing about Devin, he shoots the same way, first quarter, fourth quarter, it doesn't matter. His shot looks the same. That's a guy that's put a ton of work and in his shot. But the mentality, he's calm in those moments. And so we're grateful for those contributions in those moments.
Gina.
Here's the Sun shot chart presented by Kaiser Permanente, and you're going to see a whole lot of those green streaking arcs from outside the three-point line, because they had a franchise record 20 threes on 40 attempts, franchise record for a postseason game. How was their offense creating those shots tonight, Smitty?
Well, first of all, man, I'm a little baffled at how many corner threes the Phoenix Suns hit, because in the Spurs way, you don't give up corner threes at all, and Bud comes from that family tree.
Right.
Popovich, just the cardinal sin. There's giving up no corner threes, and I'm looking at this. Pew, pew, pew. There's a lot of.
I like we have a sound effect for
the corner 3 though, so that's concerning for me. As a Bud defensive team for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Not only makes, but some of the misses were looks, good looks.
And for me, these good looks, again, it comes from not being able to control the middle of the floor. And again, when that basketball gets to the middle of the floor or when it gets to the paint, Now you're able to draw and kick. And your defense is only as good as your weak side can help and recover. And what we've seen from Milwaukee is that their weak side defense, they help, but they can't recover. They're not quick enough to recover to those shooters because they're playing with power forwards and centers, people who are slower of foot than some of the Phoenix Suns players. The Suns players are playing with speed, they're playing with quickness, and they're playing, you got Paul, you got Devin Booker really playing against power forwards and centers. So their foot speed, consequently gets them in the paint, and those big power forwards and centers aren't quick enough to help and recover out to those perimeter shooters.
Hey, Kenny, defensively, we spent a lot of time talking about what the Bucks were doing, switching on that pick and roll after game one. We saw a whole lot less of that tonight. We saw a whole lot less of Brook Lopez out on Suffer Island against Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and they still lost. So what's the adjustment now as they head back to Milwaukee?
Well, I don't think it was that much of an adjustment. I think they still tried to have him cover him, but just not as long. They tried to get through. So just Chris Paul just sped it up. He's like, all right, well, if I don't have 5 seconds to get by him and I only got nothing was changed. I mean, it's kind of like I just feel like we're going to be saying the same thing over and over because from game one to game two, there's really not much different. We're saying that, Drew Holiday needs to be more aggressive in certain areas. We're saying Middleton needs to be more aggressive. Giannis, it's the same song right now. You could splice it, you could say it in different ways, but it's coming out the same result.
Shaq, for you, what has to change now defensively for Milwaukee?
Well, I mean, I think their mentality has to change. They may have to go a little old school defense. It's called the man-up defense. The question is, you want to try to slow the superstars down, which you have not been able to do. Chris Paul still got his. Devin Booker still got his. You want to try to slow the superstars down and let the others beat us? Well, guess what? The others are beating you right now. Early in the game, when Devin Booker was 1 for 6, they were still collapsing. He was kicking out to Miles Bridges. That allowed Miles Bridges to get hot. Now, this is time, I saw Giannis yelling at his teammates. This is the time we got to say, what, I'm not helping you. This guy's can man up, and if he gets hot, then we can make an adjustment. Because, right now, like when you show your defense, that, Isaiah makes a great point. They don't have enough speed to get out. So I think they have to say, okay, if you're going to beat us, Chris Paul, and, Devin Booker, you have to be exceptional. But, I think right now they're helping too much, helping, too soon. But that's the mentality of some coaches, Don't let them get in the paint. And then you don't let them get in the paint and they kick it out to the others. And the others are making shots. And this is why I always talk about the others, because I wouldn't have 4 championships if it wasn't for the others. And, the others for the Phoenix Suns are playing exceptional. They're not playing good. They're not playing great. They're playing exceptional. Jay Crowder's out there fouling people, playing good defense.
Fouling people.
Miles Bridges played great.
Wait, that was supposed to be praise for Jay Crowder?
Right, Isaiah? Out there hacking people.
That was complimentary from Shaq.
Hey, Kenny said he out there fouling people.
Hey, the Detroit Pistons know about sitting guys and just to foul people. So
Hey, man,
they
hey.
know exactly.
Hey,
What he's doing defensively. He's playing physical basketball, and he's not. Yeah.
In the words of Chris Tucker, Jay Crowder out there trying to kill somebody. Why are you trying to help somebody sometimes?
If that's a compliment, I hope Shaq never insults me.
Oh,
He said
I'm not around.
He said it's so serious, though.
He's out there fouling people.
Just out there fouling people.
Jay Crowder got 10 threes and fouling people.
Crowder also knocked down shots. Remember, Crowder was 0 of 8 in game one. He knocked down 3 threes in 5 attempts tonight. I'm supposed to get to you, Smitty, but I don't know on what.
I don't know what to say right now. Yeah.
Well, what? And Devin Booker tonight, who was great. He's always good offensively. You could see him lock in the third quarter, though.
Yeah, for sure. And me and Isaiah talked about it. I said, Isaiah, if he can get a chance to get some space by creating space, contact.
You gonna talk about that one he shot in the corner, Smitty?
And then you start to get your rhythm. And what I meant by that was, Matt, is he's starting off the game where he's touching bodies, right? And then he gets the separation. And then once he gets his separation, now guys are scared to get up on him. Now this shot right here was beautiful. Yes, we call this a so what drill. Yes, you're there, Giannis, but so what? He knocks this one down. Then the last one, Isaiah, I think both of us were sitting there saying, uh-oh.
Barely moves.
That right there is the two-guard play. You put your shoulder down into him, create some space, and then you knock it down. And then Brook Lopez is saying, somebody come help.
Please,
Giannis never came over. And then right now, he is starting to get to his bag and making it look easy.
Hey, don't they know he going to Tokyo? I mean,
well, some of them are his teammates. So
I'm just saying, like, I mean, Brook Lopez, I love you, but I'm Devin Booker, and you guard me, and I'm going to Tokyo in a couple of weeks. That means I'm that good. You 35, 36, you can't guard me in my gym. I'm getting ready to do you.
Devin Booker with his eighth 30-point game of the postseason tonight.
I'm going to Tokyo.
I'm going to Tokyo.